Welcome back to Mustache Moto. It's Ben. I've been in the shop a lot lately working on the DR650, getting her ready to ride. I'll do a video about that maybe in a week or so. But it reminded me of all those hacks that I know, the little tips and tricks that save me time in the shop, that make it cheaper, have fewer busted knuckles, less cussing. I'm going to share 7 of those with you, my 7 favorite shop hacks to use in your motorcycle shop. Now, if you've got other tips and tricks and hacks that you know, put them in the comments below. I'd love to learn from y'all. Now let's jump right in. Here's a shop hack for when you need to lift the front or the rear wheel on your bike, but you don't have a center stand on the bike and you don't have an actual motorcycle lift. So the R650, it's only got the side stand, and I need to change the sprockets today and the chain, so I got to take the rear wheel off. So we're going to use a 2x4, a couple of jack stands, and a jack. So I got a jack stand on each side. I'm going to start off putting a 2x4 underneath the frame. Get it on there well. It's kind of lined up. Now I've got it towards the back of the frame because I want to lift the rear wheel. Thing to remember, make sure you don't have a bike that has an exhaust pipe under there because you don't want to crush it. So my jack's got a bit of a leak, so it's in this plastic here. So I'm going to put the jack underneath, like that. Make sure the 2x4 is still on. That's a little better. All right, now we jack it up. Keep a hand on the bike in case it starts to tip. The rear wheel is off the ground. I'm going to go up a little higher so we can get the jack stand underneath. Now I'm going to have to put the kickstand up, but make sure you put it back down before you drop the bike or it's going to fall on you. And then I'm going to drop that back onto the jack stand. There we go. Nice and solid on there on both sides. That's the redneck way to do it. If you're anything like me, you've dropped nuts and bolts and sockets deep down into the recesses of your motorcycle and had to figure out how in the heck to get them out. So the easiest way, a latex glove and a little magnet. Drop that magnet right down into the index finger. Put my glove on. Now it's time for an exam. There we go. What do you do when you got a bolt that you got to get deep into an engine or somewhere where you can't really get your fingers, and you want to be careful not to drop it because then you got to use that last tip I gave you. So all you need is a little piece of paper. This is a piece of paper towel. Just going to put it over my socket, push the bolt in. Look at that. It won't fall out, but when you're done screwing it in, it comes out perfectly. Unless you replace a whole bunch of fork seals, don't waste your money on a fork seal driver. Save your 50 bucks. Buy a roll of masking tape. What you need to do, okay, I'm ready to drive the seal in. I've got it about where I want it to be. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to wrap, I'm going to get maybe 1/8 of an inch or 1/4 inch thick on here, and that's going to serve as the driver. So all right, let's see, it's about 1/4 inch. I didn't do a good job of getting it real nice and even. If you get a perfect line, that'd be better. You don't have to, though. So, slide this in, get that started. Then I'm just going to lift this up and tap it down. Seals in. Done. How easy was that? Now just peel the tape off and you can just push the dust seal in on top of that. Super easy, save some money. just finished replacing the clutch on the DR. 12 bolts around the outside of the clutch cover. They're all different lengths. So, shop hack. How do you know which bolt goes where? Well, before I started taking them out, I drew a little diagram on a piece of cardboard, punched holes for each bolt. As I took them out, I put them on there, all the different bolts, and exactly where they go. If you've done any amount of wrenching, you know that feeling when a screw head is just about to strip out on you. You especially know that if you work on older bikes and on carburetors. Man, those Mikuni float bowl screws, notoriously bad. They strip out so easily. So how do you get around that? Well, first, make sure you got the right screwdriver. And second, get a tube of valve lapping compound, or valve grinding compound, this one's called. So this is like a paste that's super abrasive. It's gritty. Put a little bit on the tip of your screwdriver, and when you put that in the head of the screw, you'll really feel it bite in there. It makes it so much easier to get the screw out without stripping it. And a tube like this, probably going to last you the rest of your life. In a brilliant stroke of German engineering, BMW put the oil filter right above the exhaust header. So as soon as you unscrew the oil filter, oil flows down, covers your exhaust header, runs towards the back of the bike, gets all over the ground. No matter how much you clean up the pipe, it's still going to smoke when you start the bike up. So what do? Aluminum foil. Just grab yourself a little sheet of aluminum foil. Kind of bend up the sides a little bit so you got a bit of a dam. And that goes up over the exhaust header. And you create a spout, so that as the oil comes out of the oil filter, it hits the foil, rolls down, goes right into your catch pan. I hope you learned something today with those 7 hacks. I hope they get you in and out of the shop a little quicker. Now get out and ride. That's why you make sure the side stands down when you do that.